primitive slave. No death of freedom, a violent choice. Those of us don't kneel humble like you cowards. Do you calculate? This war is wrong to be.
What's up, guys? Our Wrestling Podcast back at you with another episode. This is Dave Fishes along with Jess, the Total Package, Craig, the British Bulldog, the Nature Boy Joe, and Cuz is off this week, bringing you our perspective on the world of professional wrestling.
Thank God.
No inside sources, no ties to the
guys,
industry,
Cuz is
just
coming.
stories from the
Cuz is
diehards,
coming.
sharing opinions with you.
He will be here.
And someone feed me today's topic.
It's May, and we're doing WCW Slamboree 1997.
The Legends reunion. However, there's no Legends in '97, so forget
And there's
it.
no
It's just
reunion.
Slamboree.
Yeah.
For audio fans, give us a listen on Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, and Google Podcasts, or watch our videos on YouTube at Our Wrestling Channel. On social media, can you do us a solid and give us a follow on Instagram or Twitter at O.W.P 2019, or on Facebook at Our Wrestling Podcast. We had some talk about this before we started recording. I think I enjoyed this more than most people on this podcast.
Dave, we're going to find out. Do not tempt us right now. We're all right now, for everybody at
really
home.
upset with me.
We're all in a fragile state right now, so
Fragile.
let's just keep moving.
It's
Fragile.
very fragile.
Do not distract us.
Oh, it's distracted already. My goodness. All right. May 18th, 1997 in Charlotte, North Carolina at the Independence Arena. We have an attendance of 9,643 people. And the tagline here is, the tradition continues, I guess.
That makes no sense because they didn't have any Legends. It doesn't make sense. There's no
better than
tradition.
previous, Craig. It's better.
Dusty
it's
Rhodes,
short.
Tony Schiavone, and Bobby Heenan are our announcers, with Mike Tenay assisting as well as, I think, Mike Lee, if I have that right. Mean Gene Okerlund, as always, is our interviewer here. Jess, who are our champions in WWF at the time?
Over on the WWF front of things, the WWF Heavyweight Champion is The Undertaker. The World Wrestling Federation Intercontinental Champion is Owen Hart. And the World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champions are Owen Hart
New Age
and the
Outlaws.
British Bulldog. Double champion Owen Hart here.
Owen's brightest moments.
Good year for
Love it.
Owen.
Do you want to go over WCW stuff or no?
No, let's just go.
The dog said,
Oh.
no! That was absolutely not. So we have two dark matches here. Yuji Nagata defeated Pat Tanaka in a singles match at 4 minutes and 30 seconds. And
Oh, you know what? I read about that in Who Gives a Fuck magazine.
match number one is for the World Television Championship. Lord Steven Regal defeated the champion Ultimate Dragon by submission in 16 minutes and 4 seconds.
When did we go from Ultimate to Ultimo? And why do we call them Ultimate?
They go back and forth on it, I discovered. It'll say Ultimate, but they say Ultimo.
Jess, do you know?
No, I don't.
Because I'm right. I just said it. You just totally disregarded what I said and went to Jess on that. You know you did that, right? I was literally listening to it on the pay-per-view, and you would
wait to
see
chop
it
him
as
down.
Ultimate Dragon, and they would say Ultimo Dragon. Just for
All right,
that
Dave,
reason.
what's your goddamn grade?
It's a fucking B+. I liked it.
Whoa.
We had
B+?
big moves. It was very snug. I love the way they were slapping the crap out of each other. The crowd was also into it. I thought it was a good, solid openers match. Jess, what do you think?
I gave it a C+.
I liked it. better.
16 minutes was a bit too long for me.
Yes, sure
A
was.
little bit
I think that's a
for
fair statement.
For an opener, it's like, what are we gonna do here? Are you guys gonna wrestle all pay-per-view, or are you gonna fucking let other people have a try? That's what I felt. So I gave it a C+. And again, on the last review that we did or whatever, like, do we throw Steven Regal in there as one of the greatest TV champions of all time? I think.
Listen at this place erupt. Listen at it erupt. The Regal stretches on. Uncle him. He's pulling, cranking on the head, the arm, the legs are grapevine. He ain't going no place. He's not giving up yet. Curtis looking in. Did he get up? He got it. Bringing a new television champion. WCW television champion.
will give it a solid B. Actually, I did like this. The stiffness of it. It was they were teasing the Sonny Ono breakup with Ultimo Dragon or Ultimate Dragon at this point.
Nobody cares about that.
Yeah, they really don't. But again, it goes to the style of Regal can work with whoever, man.
Joe, what do you think about
very
Regal?
lordly?
Whoa. Jesus
I give it a B. I
That's
give
a
it
Jess.
solid B.
That's not you.
I think that there was actually a couple things that I noticed around this match. It kind of made me laugh. I know that like during this time period, the WCW treats the pay-per-views very much like it's just like another Nitro. To the point where I don't know if you guys caught it, but at the very beginning, Shivani like is as they're opening up the pay-per-view, and he says, "This week on Slamboree," and it was like, that's not a tell of how they view.
That's great, Joe. Good catch. Match number 2, Medusa defeated Luna Vachon in a singles match in 5 minutes and 9 seconds. I give it a C, and I think I'm being really generous here. Medusa had some amazing chops, and that lariat she put on was absolutely awesome, but it's just not a good match for me. Jess, where are you at with this one?
I gave it a C+, so you're not far off, in my opinion. And you know what? It paid off from the month before at Spring Stampede, where Luna cost Medusa the WCW Women's Championship. So this was like, and it was fine. The crowd was into it or whatever, and it was only 5 minutes. I mean, I'm not gonna.
Is Medusa one step ahead of Luna? Yes. 1, 2, 3. She got it all right.
Yeah, I will give it a. What did I give it? I gave it a C also. It was because it was 5 minutes, it was a lot better. And then the previous pay-per-view, this was also the women's match was second match on the card, but this was just quicker and better and more aggressive and a better match. It was fine. It was good.
Joe?
I give it a B-. I've always been a big fan of Medusa. I think that she continues to kind of shine in a era when women's wrestling was looked down upon and wasn't really highlighted. The fact that they even have a match on there in general, I think is great.
By the way, I'm pretty sure that Mean Gene Okerlund has his 401k tied into the WCW hotline because he's pitching that shit again.
He had to have some kind of profit sharing, right?
No, he had a major profit share. Craig, he was making 6 figures off the hotline alone.
Like,
is that for real?
Hotline now.
Yeah, that's for real. Yeah.
And
I was enjoyed the segue with, and he says it every time. He's like, kids, make sure to get your parents. But like, there's no pause. It's just like, kids, make sure to get your parents' permission. Call right now.
Yeah.
I literally wrote on the next one where he pitches it like 2 matches later. Gene says you need parental consent to get ripped off at $1.59 a minute. That's what I wrote. Because it was back then $1.59 a minute. That was a lot of money.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But anyway, and DDP, I'm sorry, Macho Man takes over that segment, and then in turn DDP interrupts that segment, and we have some major fireworks here. It's not even a match, but if we could grade it, I would. This was a fantastic set. I don't know if you guys want to talk about the DDP. Macho Man set here. It was just...
I mean, I don't want to take too much time on it, but I mean, like it's an extension from the last month pay-per-view where we talked about DDP. Savage is so crazy when Bischoff gets in there to stop him. Savage is like, "Oh, really? You're gonna fucking stop me?" Like he's just so fucking awesome. Like Macho Man is so fucking great. Like God, everything.
That was the only bad thing about that part.
Do this.
Leave it just to point out the worst part of it, where Bischoff is half knocked out, but he's able to hold back Macho Man.
But even Macho Man is so funny because he grabbed his hand, and Macho Man's like, "Oh, okay, we're gonna."
Oh, I guess we're going.
Like he just goes, he's awesome. Like Macho Man's the best.
There you go. Here we go. He went in there. What's in? Rip it, baby. Home run. He hit Vincent. He hit Vincent too. Oh, he's got Vincent. Oh, man. Right, man.
Match number 3, Rey Mysterio Jr. defeated Yuji Yasuroka. I'm trying to get that right. In 14 minutes and 58 seconds. I gave it an A-. I said Blancha, submissions, hurricanranas, oh my. And that's all I wrote because there was so much good stuff. You guys talk about what you want to talk about. I love this match. I had a good time. I was enjoying it.
I gave it a B, and I loved the fucking. Again, this should have been a Monday Nitro. I said the same thing about Slamboree.
Like, it's not a
this
pay-per-view match.
This is a totally a Monday Nitro. But however, I love the spot with Mark Curtis when Rey Mysterio threw Yuji on the outside of the ring, and then like he stopped Mysterio, and Mysterio was going to bounce off the other side of the ropes and do a plancha.
And went over his back.
He leaned through the middle ropes and started counting him. And Rey Mysterio was like, "Fuck you," and bounced off the ropes and did a flip over him. I fucking love that spot. It was awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Since the springboard, Hurricane Rana. 1, 2, 3. Phenomenal. It could have gone either way at a lot of different times.
What a great matchup.
Yeah, the Hurricane Rana from the top got him, and it was a great sense of anticipation and timing that won the match. When basically they hit each other with just about everything.
He's going to come here and intimidate the Mexican and American wrestling. We are the best.
Anyways, B plus on the match. Think it was great. I love that. I love that spot with the. Well, I'm not gonna let you do it, and then Curtis is below and he flips over him. I thought that was pretty awesome. So.
All right, match number 4. Glacier defeated Mortis with James Vandenberg in his corner by disqualification in 1 minute and 51 seconds. And there's no grade because I don't grade Mortal Kombat matches. So,
Great F.
I give it an
F. This sucked. Yeah, F. This sucked.
No comments.
F.
Next.
yeah,
Dumb.
no grade. Like I said, Gene says
Waste
you
of
need
time.
parental consent to get ripped off at $1.59 a minute in this segment. And then we move on to match number 5. Malenko defeated Jeff Jarrett to retain his United States Heavyweight Championship in 15 minutes and 3 seconds. It is an A for me. There's nothing like a slow burn of a Dean Malenko match like this.
Give it an A?
I gave it an A. I really enjoyed it. I was digging this pay-per-view. I told you guys you were going to yell
That's
at me.
good. No.
Because you guys
Stick your head out there,
This
Dave.
wasn't as good. I was like, no, I dug it. I was down.
No, I will give it a B. I'll give it a solid B. I liked it a lot. You figured like these two on paper should have a fantastic match. I know Joe does not like
disagrees with that,
not like the Double J. But between the two of them, kind of hard hitting, they work together. They work together much better than they did kind of previously. And then of course Stephen Michael comes down and ruins it.
Down into a power bomb, trying to get him hooked up for the clover leaf. He's got him down on him, baby. He's got him. He's nowhere to go now. Whoa. He's still the champ. Yeah. What a match. What a match. Matt Michaels is leading it away. A very upset Deborah. And there is the man who is still the United States champion.
I give it a C plus. 15 minutes is way too long. And then not because these guys aren't talented, but because you're gonna end it with fucking Mongol coming out going, like just ridiculous. Like I was like so mad. It was good ring action, yes it was, but I was like at the end, I'm basing the end on it too. Again, another U.S. title match, like the review that we did for Spring Stampede, where they just shit on the fucking match, and it's all about the whoa baby. Like it's like come on, man. Like. It's a fucking U.S. title. What do you
Come
doing?
on, you gotta prepare for my match.
That's just a wrestling purist to me.
I'm gonna teach you something, baby.
Very possible. Yeah. Match number 6. Ming defeated Chris Benoit, who was accompanied by a woman, in a death match in 14 minutes and 54 seconds.
So Chris Benoit died.
Yeah, he died. I give it a B plus. I enjoyed this match. I forgot how good Ming was. I forgot that Ming could actually work.
Dave, I agree with you. I gave it a B plus, and I say this might have been Meng's greatest match of all time. Continue.
The way he caught Benoit in the nerve grip at the end was so cool to me. I don't know. And Benoit egging him on a little bit towards the end, where Ming kept destroying him, and Benoit would get up before the 10 count. I'm like, come on! And I was like, I am really enjoying this right now.
And Benoit, nobody gets out of that. Benoit looked at woman and he shook his head no.
That's it. That's it.
He shook his head no right before he went down.
Look how deep that thumb and that whole hand is in his throat.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. Right there.
You wanted a death match, you had one. Boy, you really did.
There's in my opinion, there's so much to talk about in this match. So, Jess, what do you got?
I give it a C plus. I'm so fucking irritated with this match because
Why?
like, no, because
Woman's streak.
taking the two athletes is fine. I get what you're saying, and the work was solid, but they were supposed to like. Can you shit on Benoit anymore? Like, he's the guy that you were supposed to fucking push, and he's a part of the Horsemen, and he's supposed to be part of the next generation. And Ming was a tag wrestler, and I love Ming.
He kind of comes out of nowhere, right? For this
And then,
match.
but he loses fucking clean. His finishing move, he dives on the top rope to do the headbutt, and he purposely dives to Ming's right onto his hand, which doesn't even look like he was trying to headbutt Ming, and Ming catches him and beats him clean with the Tongan claw. Are you fucking serious? Like, I was so pissed off. I was like, why would you kill his momentum? It's not... if Sullivan... Oh, I can't believe I'm fucking saying this right now. If Sullivan would have come out, because they're in that feud, if Sullivan would have came out and distracted him, I could maybe buy that and upgrade this to a B-. But, like, Jesus Christ, like... Why are you shitting on Benoit so much? There's no fucking reason to make Benoit lose. He's supposed to be the next guy. They never wanted to build new stars. Ever. And I get it. We've talked about before. Benoit has no charisma. I understand that. But as far as the crowd like responding to him, and you're putting him against Meng, a tag wrestler, Benoit goes over.
And by the way, can we talk about that? They don't want to call it a Texas death match. It's a last man standing match. You just call it a death match. That makes no fucking sense. It's a Texas death match. You count to 10 if you can't stand and stand up to the bell. It's called a death match. There's got to be some story there. What's up, bro?
Yeah.
What?
Welcome to WCW.
WCW.
Right. Yeah, there you go. That's fair enough, Dave. That's fair enough.
Yep. Match number 7 is a tag match. The Steiner brothers, Rick and Scott, defeat Conan and Hugh Morris with Jimmy Hart in 9 minutes and 35 seconds. I reluctantly give this a B- because I really wrote, I said, are there two people that I can hate more in a match right now than Morrison and Conan?
Got roped up, Tony. This might be the coup de grace. Frankensteiner! And he slips out. Rick slips in for a 1, 2, 3. Oh, you knew that. When he hit him with that Frankensteiner, Mr. Morris wasn't going anyplace. Conan is mad. He's disgusted. He's mad. He throws his hands towards Jimmy Hart and Hugh Morris and is stalking away.
I gave... Oh, go ahead, Joe. Go ahead.
I gave it a C. And most of my comments, I mean, the match itself I thought was watchable. You know, nothing special. The most comments I have about is their ring attire. I don't know why it always bothered me when the Steiners went to the like red pleather / dominatrix.
And then when Scott on top of that
singlets.
would wear a weight belt around.
Yeah, and it was like that looks so. Are you guys on the way to like a sex club?
Craig.
I give it a C. It was what it was. I found it hard hitting. It was clunky because Conan was in it, obviously, and he makes everything clunky.
Hey, Craig.
Yeah?
Viva la raza.
Viva la raza.
Yeah, Craig, Jess, did you grade it, buddy?
I'm going to give a Steiner Brothers match a C-. I hated this fucking match. I thought that Conan triggers me, and he was awful. He's always awful.
He's awful everywhere.
It's irrational, and I don't know why I hate him. I just do. I always will. Rick Steiner was awful here on the comeback. Like, he fucked up the Bulldog. He fucked up things before that.
You can tell he's getting super huge.
Was he injured? He was injured, wasn't he?
I'm assuming yes, and then Scott was in the mode here of getting super massive, so he was really limited
big.
as well.
Here's a real gold mine for you. Mongo McMichael with Deborah defeated Reggie White, who was with Ken Johnston, in 15 minutes and 17 seconds.
I only give this match, I only give it an F+ because someone didn't die. Go on.
I graded
That's
this
how
match
bad this
way
fucking
too
match
high.
was. This
I'm gonna put it in the D to D- category, and I mean that in a good way.
I think that I don't give it an F- because someone didn't die.
Well said.
I wish somebody would have.
Here's what I'll tell you though. The match itself, maybe for a Nitro or something, was technically passable.
Fuck you.
And I only say that like for someone who's never been
15
in a,
minutes of trash, Dave.
it is. But here's the
Of
thing.
them resetting every 2 seconds, they would do spots and like, let's lock up again, and then they would lock up again. Let's just
Wait.
fucking do shoulder blocks
Wait.
again. And they do that again.
Oh, hold on. Before I respond, Dave, you said technically passable. What was your grade?
D. I get worse and worse the more I think back on it. I put it into a D to D minus
Okay.
because
right.
and here's what I'll say. Like, there's been worse matches from professional wrestlers out there.
Gilbert's got the briefcase, the Halliburton. Watch this. There's another one. Jeff Oh, baby! The second Halliburton. Come on, referee. No. 1, 2, 3. Experience will prevail. And a loaded Halliburton. A loaded Halliburton with teammates will prevail.
Oh, fair enough.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
They had their sets, and there were points where Mongo would grab, take, and try to take an appendage and work on it. They actually did as much as they could to work it out. Here's the issue: no one's helping them. Do you think anybody helped these guys out?
It's a good point. Like you
No
had.
fucking
Well,
way.
you're right. Yeah.
It's not like Pat Patterson was there helping them out. I don't. Think
I'm not
so.
changing my grade, but you're right.
Oh yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
No, the fact that Dave gave his grade so low, like technically passable, makes sense. Like for that.
Dave's right. Dave's right. Actually, on a pay-per-view, like there was a lot of shit that could have went wrong, and somehow it did not.
Yeah.
It just didn't.
You should never give these two 16 minutes.
It's crazy.
It's just awful. I mean, Reggie, God bless him, like, did fine. But again, we talked about it in the last kind of pay-per-view 2 months. It's like you give Mongo a rocket thinking he can carry things and carry wrestlers in matches and give him 15 minutes
the
without any
high
help.
point of WCW, during the fucking meteoric rise of WCW, you're like, Mongo can help.
He's just a
Mongo's
drinking
fine.
buddy of Ric Flair. That's all he fucking is.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Well, and Jess also calls out. He was great on the mic, so when he was doing announcing work,
Barely.
It was actually really fun.
Like, he was good with puns, and
Yeah, he was kind of funny or whatever, but
Yeah.
like
he could probably find cocaine for the boys.
Oh my god.
yeah.
It's out of control.
I mean, you're right, but don't call him out on it.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Joe, did you grade it? But I'm sorry.
I gave it a straight up
Sorry, Jess.
All right.
F.
Main event.
Main event: Ric Flair, Roddy Piper, and Kevin Green. For those kids who don't know Kevin Green, I totally get it. Defeated the NWO. Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, and Six in a 6-man tag match that went 17 minutes and 20 seconds. And I'll be honest, I forgot to grade this one. I'll let you guys take this one away.
I will give this fuck. I struggled between an A- and a B+. This match was so fucking good. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, and it was Flair's return, and he was in Charlotte. Six was the MVP of this match. Like, he was so and honestly, you can say what you want about their past behaviors, but all three, Hall, Nash, and Six, were fucking the best heels ever.
Yes.
And they knew.
Oh, yeah.
So the story behind this, so I think it was Nash on a shoot interview said that all fucking day he fucking stressed out Flair because Flair's like, are we going to go over? Are you a good wrestler? Are you going to boot? And so and Nash was like, I don't know what we're going to do. Because Nash had a lot of pull, like at this point. NWO was huge. WCW's on fire. So Hall and Nash had a lot of pull. So they were dicking with Flair all day long in Charlotte, whether they're going to let Flair go over or not. And Flair was all fucking stressed out, irritated, and kept going back in the locker room with Rowdy going, can you believe they're not going to put us over? Like, into the whole thing. And he's like, I don't know,
Every
man.
time
Come
it's
on. I don't
perfect.
know, man. I have no idea. So, like, they were doing the whole thing, and Nash is like, Flair would leave the room, and Nash would look at Hall and be like, of course we're going to put Flair over in Charlotte. Of course they're going to go over. Like, we're going to be heels. Like, Nash is like,
total
I knew from
assholes.
the beginning, is like,
Yeah.
of course I'm going to put him over.
I don't know what Nick's doing there, but somebody make a call. Do something. They are all down. The NWO is down. 1, 2. They get him. A chokehold winner.
And when they went out there, they Piper and Flair completely covered for greenness. and like
Sure.
it was so the crowd was fucking amazingly.
Yeah.
But they
fucking
let
lit.
Kevin hit high spots too, right? Where they
Dude,
just
like,
erupted.
and it was Flair's return. They were in Charlotte. They cheered loud for Piper. Flair that would chop the shit out of Six and fish hooked his mouth and drug him over to the corner. That place popped. You talk about other wrestlers. We talk about Rey Mysterio doing Hurricane Ranas, all these great spots or whatever. Flair chopped a man and fish hooked him and said, "Come here, bitch," into the corner, and the crowd fucking went nuts. That is professional wrestling. Piper gets in there, super limited, injured hips and knees, gets in there. Everything Piper did was awesome. So the crowd, in turn, is like, we will believe in Green. And Green gets in there, and everything he does, the NWO sells to him and fucking makes him look like $1 million. This is pro wrestling. You can take it apart if you want to, this match, about technical wrestling and blah, blah, blah. Dude, it doesn't matter, man. They felt the crowd. None of them choked. None of them.
Yeah, I gave it a B+ too. I fucking loved it. The moments in this and the segments and how everyone kind of got their shit in was amazing. There's a Kevin Nash shoot video with RF Video when he's talking about him and Scott fighting Flair and Piper at a house show.
Yeah.
And how he said, "Do not come out on fire because then we have no place else to go from there. Like, don't come out like trying to chop us and like punch us, like kind of thing. Go slow." And then they did and disrespected them, and then they kind of beat them down. So it's funny to hear, Jess, you say like the whole day, like Hall and Nash were like talking about like whether they would let Flair go over, because like this like house show that Nash was talking about that where Flair and Piper like they told them, don't start quick, we got to go slow in a slow build and then we'll get there. And they even show clips of how they kind of got beaten down, like, and how this match, but like compared to the last pay-per-view of Nash not wanting to like play with either some kind of tag match, and where it was where Hall didn't show up and he just squashed Rick Steiner, and they really just kind of let the guys have a great moments and took the loss, and it was a lot of fun. I give it a B+. And then, by the way,
I said on the last pay-per-view, not to interrupt you, when the heels lose, if they're good heels, they will get their heat back.
Yeah.
Savage loses DDP. It was very important that Savage lost, and he did.
Yeah.
He could get his heat back. And he got it back in the small segment we talked about on this pay-per-view right now, in this review. In a segment.
Yeah.
In one segment. If you do it right, it's fucking fine. Like, it will all work out.
And by the way, the crowd, the entrance for Flair, Kevin Greenwood, I think, was a Carolina Panther, and he was a serviceable guy, got all his spots in. Everyone played their role to perfection, and when there's no egos,
amazing. Like he's doing the like, you know, doing the football roll and all that stuff. Like, the place went crazy.
Yeah.
It's like he knew. I'm sure Piper and Flair were telling him, like, do this here, do that there, and that's okay. Because guess what? What I saw after I laid my money down was fucking gold.
Yeah. Yep. And when you are unselfish, and when you don't have creative control, when you give it up to the business and what is right for business and right for the crowd, this is kind of the perfect representation of that. Like, and it saved the pay-per-view. I liked it.
It was such a good match.
Joe?
Yeah. I also give it a B+. All you know, echoed all of the reasons that you guys already talked about. Great entrance, huge pop. You know, the heel work was great. The face work was great. I liked within the bigger storyline of WCW versus NWO. You know, WCW getting a win and getting a big win. You know, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt Hall and Nash, and you know, it doesn't hurt the NWO to take that loss. But it's a huge win in the momentum of WCW and a Flair, and you know, and particularly to do it in Charlotte. You know, it all just worked. It all just worked, and it was a nice way to end on the pay-per-view. You know, that
if you're a good heel, you will get your heat back. Yeah. That's it. End of story.
They're gonna get it back the next day on Nitro.
Yeah.
You know, Joe, ain't no thing.
Right.
Joe, grade the whole thing.
I'm gonna give it a C+ overall.
I put it at a B- a little higher. I liked it a little bit better than the rest of you. Craig?
I'll go C+.
Jazz?
C-.
Whoa. Hatred.
Too much bongo.
If there's
right.
1 minute of bongo,
I-
there's too much bongo. Once
I
again.
had two F-bombs in this, and that was the Glacier match and the fucking.
Oh wow, yeah. We literally didn't spend
Yeah.
30 seconds on that match.
Well, and the biggest difference was I didn't even grade it. I didn't even really consider it a match.
And I was very hard on the Benoit and Meng match.
Yeah.
You were.
You're mean. You're a mean guy.
True.
I took that match as a nice match for Meng and not necessarily shitting on Benoit. Like I liked Meng getting over.
Right, and then Meng wins, and then he goes right back to tag team, and nothing happens after it. So
Meng wins.
Right, and they
he went
completely
on the Intercontinental
shitting on
tear
Benoit.
in WWF 6 months
yeah,
later.
and then he
it-
won the world
Switch
title.
companies.
Meng beat Hogan at Starrcade.
Yeah.
That's
but for
exactly what happened.
After that,
for that moment for Meng, I think that was my reasoning in the moment.
no, I
was
get,
like,
I
all right.
truly get that because Meng is super talented. I love Meng. Like I love him.
Yeah.
I think someone might had a soft spot for him. Hey, let's get you over here and we'll see what happens. And blah, blah, blah.
Well, there was I think it was Sullivan
Sullivan.
just trying to fuck Benoit over, like,
Yeah.
because you never saw that again. Like you never
You can
seen
do
like
both.
Wow. Meng's gonna go on you.
You can-
Yeah.
what? Is this
I love how
is
we're
this gonna
finished
fuck
not
your
talking
wife?
about Ming, by the way.
I want Meng to win.
We really think we're gonna push Meng hard, so you understand, Chris, right?
You understand, Chris?
You know, you get to go home with my
I
ex-wife,
think
and I'm
Ming
sure.
came up and gave Kevin Sullivan the handshake of death, and he put him over. That's what happened. People are scared of Ming in real life. That guy's a legitimate tough guy.
I'm to this day I am.
That's right.
He's gonna jump off of the headbutt, and then this makes no sense. But then Meng will actually lift his arm and then hit you in the neck, and then he'll stand up.
Meng
and then,
won't lift up his arm to match his throat to catch you. You will jump into Meng's arm way
Yeah.
away from his head, and
Because
he'll
Ming is
catch
that
you.
strong mentally.
well, because it's either this or I send 10 guys down to beat you up. So what you want, Chris? By
All
the way,
the
how
Dungeness
are you
you
and
down.
Nancy? Good. Okay.
That's where you got to end it. For audio fans, give us a listen on Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, and Google Podcasts, or watch our videos on YouTube at Our Wrestling Channel. Can you do it?
Dave, perhaps you could talk slower and maybe focus on TikTok and not Instagram.
Or on Facebook at Our Wrestling Podcast. Sorry,
Dave,
Kevin,
perhaps
but
you
can't
could
follow
shut
along.
the fuck up for a minute, Dave.
Yeah. This is Dave, Jess, Craig, and Joe.
I don't like the name Dave. Your name is Chad.
My name is now Chad.
Your name is
O.W.P.
Job.
Signing off. Have a good one.
Yes, to your own enslavement. No death of freedom, a valid choice. Those on this don't kneel, don't let you count. Do you calculate? This war is wrong to